Your source for everything paranormal. Para-X. The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. UFOs. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic energy.
The Calling.
And good evening, everyone. This is The Calling with Jerry from Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota. And with me tonight is the one, the only, Kimberly Juarez.
Hello,
From
Jerry.
Cat Paranormal. How you doing, kiddo?
Good. How are you?
Lousy.
I know,
Lousy.
right?
It's been just kind of put you guys all up on what happened. You know, last Wednesday's show was awesome. And then on Friday night, I went to work. It was snowstorming here. I come walking out of the dollar store with 3 rolls of paper towels. And as I'm walking out, I didn't have my cane with me. I went to go step off the curb, and down I went. I hit my head, my whole side. My butt is gigantic, you guys.
Oh, my gosh.
It's
That's
huge.
terrible.
It's black. I can't even roll over on that side still since
Ouch.
Friday. I know. I'm going to put up pictures in a little bit.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I'm not. I'm kidding. It's got a giant black heart on it. So I think maybe Joan Jett would like it, you know. Anyway, so seeing blurry, all that stuff, get home, get rested. Had a pretty good weekend after that. Started feeling better on Monday. Went out to lunch with a friend of mine and had a great time. Went to work for just 2 hours and decided to pick up a Subway on the way home with cucumbers. Now, me and pickles hate each other. I mean, we hate each other. You know, and I've always stuck up for cucumbers. I don't understand this. A cucumber is, you know, you take that and you drown it in dill. Drown that poor innocent little cucumber. You know, you kill it off.
I like
and then
dill.
you call it a pickle. Oh, you're disgusting. Anyway, then people put it on burgers and stuff like that. So I always stood up for the cucumber. You know, I was a number 1 fan. So then I thought, well, I'll get some cucumber on it, you know. So I did and came home and ate it. And then all of a sudden, like, I think it was 2:00 in the morning, here comes the cucumber. And I've been sick ever since. And right now doing the show, I don't have a lot of life in me, but I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. So if this is a sucky show, it's my fault. I take full responsibility for it. But just to all you guys, if you do use a cane, use the damn thing. Use the cane. Okay? I don't see anybody saying okay out there.
Is anybody
I still
out there?
don't. There's no. I'm knocking on my computer. Hello, can anybody hear me? But yeah, no, it was a horrible thing. I mean, just horrible. But you know, that's just stuff like that happens and stuff.
Yeah.
Who we got in here? We got Cece, of course, and Sarge, our loyal producer.
Miss Stephanie and
Miss Stephanie,
Nikki.
Mr. Kiter. I don't know why I always want to talk like I'm from down south and say Kiter. You know, it's probably because of that show Yellowstone.
Oh,
And-
yeah. Do
yeah,
you
they
watch
have-
that?
I love it. I
Oh, my
watched it.
gosh, another one.
I bought the full season already on
Did
Hulu.
you really?
Yeah, so every Monday is what I sit there and watch. Usually I'll pick up something to eat and then I'll sit there and watch. It's the only time I buy anything out and to watch the show. And my favorite character on that show really is Tater.
Yeah.
Teeter,
So
that
funny.
girl with the pink hair. She's
Yeah.
hilarious, But anyway, so, okay, Cat Paranormal, that's you. Snooky, my little Darlowski. We were talking about Darla the other day when I started at EMC Publishing. I won't finish the story, but Stevie B, love that guy. Miss Bella, I hope Gio's feeling better. She was saying before that her son Gio is not feeling so well, and
Aw.
I know. I don't know if I know how he feels, but I feel like what is it? SHI cross. You said the T. Thank you very much. Well, I feel just terrible. Something fierce, but anyway. So are you bad talking me, Snooks? I would never bad talking you. Yeah, it was 55 here, but now it's raining and blowing, I guess.
Yeah, I just heard thunderstorms out here. So supposedly it's supposed to be super severe, and it stops around 8 o'clock apparently. So, I mean, we're not that far from 8 anyway. So, yeah. But
You're welcome, Miss Bella. Tylenol, that's what I've been kind of hitting on, is Tylenol and ibuprofen, what Steph calls the cocktail. So then I try that, and it actually does a lot of good for the aches and pains, but my back, man, is so fried out, and my bum. And it's huge. It's like right now I'm rubbing my bum, like you guys need to know that. And it's just gigantic. I mean, no matter what I do, sitting on this chair is a pain, literally a pain. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So yeah, last week, Kim, you missed it. We played a lot of EVPs from Humbird, which the show I did not put on I did not put on The Calling yet. I will do that by tomorrow. But I did put it on The Calling radio show on YouTube. And we actually did it with video, so everybody can see it, Steph. Enough with the buttocks already, LOL. All right, I won't talk about my bum.
well, I think Russ and Mark and everyone did really well. I mean, I think it's awesome, the evidence that they caught, and I still haven't gotten mine back. My daughter never brought the recorder back. I wonder if it's here in the house. But she watched the house while I was at the MGM in Las Vegas at the Fair Unity while you guys did that show, because I thought for sure I'd be in a hotel so I could do the show with you guys. But no, we were still driving in. So.
Oh, I thought you said drunk for a second.
Oh.
I thought it was coming out as drunk, I was still drunk. No, well, how did it go? I mean, you guys had a good time? You met a lot of people and stuff?
Yeah, totally met a lot of people. I didn't get a lot of pictures because, you're doing your own booth and stuff. And so it's kind of hard, and I didn't have the girls with me. Usually I have my investigators with me, and they're really good at switching out. But I had to maintain the booth a lot because, I'm the only one that knows the paranormal, basically. They can only, Dorothy and Art and my sister went along. She was selling some stones and stuff like that, a couple of things just for like gas money and food money, because we don't get paid for this. We're not the biggies. But there was a lot of biggies, of course, So there was like Destination Fear, the Wrath Chasers. There was a lot of oh my gosh, Patty Naram, which is the Good Witch. She had her peeps up there. We got Paraflex. I mean, there was just so many people. Of course, Ghost Hunters, Rochelle and Brian from Ghost Hunters as well. So there was just so many people. It was great to see. And it happened Friday and Saturday. And, of course, the godfather of paranormal, which is Zach, not Zach, what the heck I was talking about? Oh my gosh, now I went in a blank. John Zaffis. Oh,
Zaffis was there, huh?
God, he's so great.
I get a kick out of him, yeah.
He's just such a sweetie, he's such a sweetie. I love him.
Oh, I know. I just hugged him every chance I got.
And also Destination Josh Gates, of course, he was there as.
No, just out of curiosity, I'm sorry, I don't mean to stop you right there, but I want everybody in the chat room, if they could put down one name of somebody that if they were going to go to a big event like that in Vegas or Duluth or what's going to be happening at Mystic Lake next year and stuff, name one person, one big star is the one you want to see the most. Just one person, the big star that you want to see. Because, I mean, some of these stars, now, oh, God, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but, I'm not feeling good, so I feel argumentative.
What an excuse. Go for it, Jerry.
I just wanted to cover all bases. Some people that are on there and stuff, they've only done like one or two things.
Right.
You know, and it's like you had your breakout table. You've done some pretty cool stuff. You would think that some people would, want to see what you have done.
Right,
Because I remember back, Bella, Zach Baggins, LOL, just kidding, Jerry. We're going to get into him in just a second.
Yeah, we both met him. So, yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, there's so many shiny objects around that it's just like, squirrel. But no, I mean, some of these big guys should actually, come down and see some of the little fish if you want to, to see what kind of things. I mean, they don't do that. And that's something that you think that they would want to do, but none of them did.
So I'm going to tell you, you're right about that, Jerry, because we go to see them because we're excited and, they should be more genuine about how we're paranormal investigators. I mean, they got their chance at fame and they, and people look up to them. And so they should be more gravitating to the little people, to the people who do make it. We make it possible for these teams to exist. And this, to me, you know what I mean? Like we're out there, we're doing the investigating. Either you're an investigator or a ghost hunter that's already, to me, an investigator is somebody who investigates the history and everything and tries to find out and debunk or tries to find out what's going on. And a ghost hunter, to me, is somebody who wants to go in places that are already haunted. So, to find more evidence or whatnot, or to see if it's real. But like these people, so like for instance, Elizabeth Saint, excellent. She comes and she talks to you and she's like, oh, hey, blah, 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 this and that. I mean, genuinely, really such a sweet girl. The other person I would think would be, majority of them, they go around and they're walking around and they don't even come up to you. They don't even say hi to you, or you'll have to literally stop them and say, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I did it a couple times. I admit that. I probably look like a crazy person out there, but, I feel like sometimes, they should come around the tables and check us out too. You know what I mean? We're out there, and I truly believe that us little people need some attention as well, So, yeah.
Exactly. Like Sarge is just saying, he says, what am I, chopped liver? Nope, not at all. You're the big dude. You're the ones that make it all happen. Without you, we wouldn't be nothing. That's what we're saying, about the other, people too. That they need to get out there and, just, go up and meet somebody. The only time, and I'm not going to mention, it was in 2015, I think it was, or 2016, one of the stars reached out. They wanted a case that we did, and I refused to give it to them.
Oh,
because
really?
I know what they were going to do with it. Uh-huh. They were going to, say that it was demonic, and I was not up for that whatsoever.
Right.
Because it was not demonic.
Right.
So, and it made me look like a horse's patoot, but without a big bulging butt type thing.
Right.
But it's it's crazy. Wow. I can hear the rain hitting the windows now.
Yeah, me too.
Holy
and
cow.
The thunder, it's going crazy. I have the window cracked open, but the thunder's going crazy. But yeah, so like to me, like the bigwigs, they should acknowledge some of this, us little people. That's all I have to
They
say.
should. They most definitely should. They should come
Mhm.
down and, talk with people and stuff. I mean, that's where, that's the, big difference between stars and stardom.
Right.
That's a
So,
huge difference.
the Hoser Files, I do have to admit to this a little bit. Dave Schrader, I think he's okay, but he wasn't very, he wasn't very, I just said, hi, Dave, and he just kept kind of going, and he said, oh, hey, what's going on? Stopped a little bit. But then there's Cindy Kaz. I don't know, you guys know that she's the psychic medium on the Hoser Files.
Yep.
She was freaking sweet as hell. Like the sweetest lady I have ever, like if we were just talking and because she was just sitting there, she was the sweetest thing ever. And you really couldn't get to Dave Schrader. Maybe that's what it was, because, he's very popular and there's a lot of people that know him and everything. And they kind of gravitated to him, all the big wigs. So there was a lot of big wigs on that corner of the other side of us. But Cindy, she was just so sweet, and she just maintained her booth and talked to me so genuine. She even let me take a picture with her, and I just thought she was the sweetest thing. And I asked her a question about automatic writing. I'm really interested in that automatic writing, so I'm going to try to give it a try. She gave me some pointers on it, so I'm going to try it, but because she does that on the show, and I just really am intrigued by it. So I don't know.
When it comes to Dave Schrader, I mean, people can have a bad day. I have to say that up in Duluth, when we were up there, we were like one booth away, but across the way from Dave Schrader. And he was constantly coming over and joking with us and everything. And his daughter, Riley, was such an adorable young girl. Yeah, she was
there too. Yeah, and his wife was there. So maybe I just couldn't, maybe he was just too busy or something, but there was so many people. But Cindy, I just thought she was just the sweetest thing ever. Like the sweetest thing ever.
Oh, the psychic girl.
The psychic on the Hauser Files.
Really nice too. And some people can have they are bigger. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's actually true too. Look at Ryan Buell. Did I say that out loud? Sorry. No, I feel bad for him. I mean, the dude had a really bad crash there, and it's too bad,
Yeah.
that all that stuff happened and stuff. But drugs will get you.
Yeah, it can happen. That's right. It can happen. That's for sure.
But I think everybody has, their day. But when it comes to being in the limelight at a convention, then it's time that everybody puts an Energizer battery in their keister and gets on out there and, does the smiling, the chatting, even if it's fake. Sit down with people and stuff and, get people to come on. See, if I was famous, I would be going to the ones that are little and say, show me your evidence, show me your best stuff, and take interest in it, even if it's something small. Everybody, when you first find something, it's either something that is fantastic in your eyes, or it may be something that you're just not sure about. Mm-hmm. So even showing someone that they consider themselves to be professionals, even though, I don't believe in the professional or in the gods and all that other stuff of that, they could at least take a look at it. And I would be the first one to say, hey, come here, you guys got to see this, and show it to them and help everybody do it. Instead of, yes, my arms are flailing in the air, people. I'm just going crazy. I might even pick scissors and run around a little bit. I'm getting worn up. Anyway, but no, I really think that they should definitely be doing that. I think, they're going to make more fans than anything. And I know that Darlowski, she had to wait in line for a long time for Josh Gates.
Oh, yeah.
And if
you still had to.
Showed up. He never showed up. And that's because he was never going to show up.
Oh.
That was on the promoter that was doing that, the person that signed him up. And that was out there in Paracon.
A
lot of people like Amy, what is her name? Amy Allen.
Yep.
And people like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that time when he didn't show up. And there was people were waiting in line just to see if he would show up or not. So they would stand in line, and then they kept asking us, because we were right next door to him, And Art kind of got sick and tired of one of my investigators, and he went and put a huge alien in his place. And it says, "Hello, I'm Josh Gates" on it. And people were like so upset because they see this alien instead of Josh Gates. So Josh Gates, when he finally came, I remember he was late for something else. And when he finally came in, he looks at us and looks at the alien. And he's like, "You guys did this, didn't you?" And we're like, "Yep." He just started busting up laughing. He thought it was hilarious.
See, that's a lot of in Paracon back again, 2015, 2016. There was a lot of camaraderie with the guys back then. I mean, especially the time that what is his name? Grant Wilson. Grant Simi, our giant. If you want to call him a boo bear, but he doesn't say boo, so that's good, and punched him in the stomach. And I think Steph punched Grant in the stomach and said something like, "How does that feel?" And then Chris Fleming just grabbed him and started running away with him, and stuff. And that's kind of the fun stuff. And I think I really did kind of upset Grant a little bit when we were doing a mobile interview with him, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, no problem." I said, "Okay, this is Jerry with the calling, along with," and then my co-host at that time. I said, "Yeah, so everybody's wondering, they want to know right now, is it true, Grant Wilson?" And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Come on, everybody's waiting to hear it from you right now. Is it true?" And he said, "What?" I said, "That you're doing porn."
Oh no, Jerry.
He gave me this look, and he started to laugh. And then my co-host that time just looked at him and said, "I love your cookbook that you put out, and I love your sausage gravy." And then I just started laughing like crazy, and he did too. I mean, he thought that was funny, but I'm sure that there was some people didn't like it. Grant and I used to joke around all the time. He came over to the table. He loves Squatchers. That's right. Introduced us all to the biggies, like the time in Paracon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's there was a lot of fun stuff. I mean, I remember what was his name? Travis.
Oh, Travis Walton.
Travis Walton. Yeah, he fell asleep at his booth.
Oh, did he really?
So what did I have to do? I had to go up and take a picture of him, and everybody's telling me, "Stop it." TCPS was right next to me, like, don't do that. I'm like, piss on you, man. I'm doing it, Of course, I put it on Facebook and then said, he was dreaming about being abducted again and stuff. But,
Jerry.
when I told him about that and showed him that, he thought it was pretty funny. He said, "Well, that's what I get for staying up too late at night." But I won't tell you the other stuff that happened with him. It wasn't that funny.
Yeah, that was.
But, yeah, you remember that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Anyways, the other thing is Nick Groff, I'll tell you, he's genuine. I tell you right now. He even took a picture of me and him and tweeted it. It was beautiful. I love him. He's such a genuine, sweet guy. Sweet guy. So if you guys ever get a chance to meet Nick Groff, do it, because he is such a sweet guy.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, I mean, they're getting out there. They're saying, they're just communicating with everybody, and that's good. That's the big thing right there. The host on UFO Witness was also on Fact or Fake.
Oh,
Files. Which one was that?
You mean Ben Hansen?
I think was it Ben Hansen, Heather?
Yeah.
And Aaron Ryder, is another goodie. Yeah. What
happened? Oh my God, she was an amazing soul. I'll tell you right now. She's like, "Where's my cat, girls?" She's all hugging us. I was like, I think she was. Yeah, we were at the bar for a while, so I'll just have to say that. But
you mean, you're talking about at Paracon, or are you talking about at
Paracon? Paracon.
Okay, Paracon. Yeah. There was a lot of stuff that happened at Paracon. Okay, Heather says, that she was talking about, what did you say? The guy's name was Brian Hansen?
Ben Hansen. So, you guys, he was actually the one so I was a patron. I wasn't a vendor at the time. And this was our first visit to Paracon. And I think it was 2011. I can't remember. I think it was the second one. But we went and it was him and Bill Murphy, and he goes, and those are from Fact and Fake, those two, Ben Hansen and him, and they're the ones that told me that it's never too late to be a paranormal investigator or to have a group, and that's what made me start.
That's
Ben
true.
Hansen. And he said it didn't matter my age or anything, and look I'm running for 8 years now, so.
Yep. And you're 72 now, you're going to be?
Yeah, I'm 50. Yeah, 152. Yes, I am. So, yeah.
Oh, Steve, you should do that. Steve said, I'm considered doing the course for being a MUFON investigator.
Oh,
you
nice.
should. Yeah. Steph got her drank on. She did. Many times. Many times.
I think we all have at that point. So, yeah, it was nice.
I did, that's for sure. Sat there and had 4 or 5, and then I was told I can't have any more.
Now, I do have to say, I did get to visit the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum.
And
I do have to say, it is very interesting. For the fact is, Zach will do whatever he can to get that extra story, or to get the extra footage, or to get that extra, he really does. I have to admit about that museum, it's great history. It's great. The Dubit box, they had to really put an extra bind around that Dubit box because apparently they had some issues with the Dubit box with that singer guy. What's his name?
What's a Debit box?
So the Dubit box is supposed to be the most haunted artifact in the world.
And what is it?
Of course, he has the box. He actually retained the box. So the box is apparently, it's like a very long history. It talks about how this lady who used to be in the concentration camps, she got this box together. It comes from that era. She put this box together, because of her being haunted, and I guess from all the issues she went through in this camp and stuff. And I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. I'm sure someone out there will quote me on it. But to make a long story short, this is supposed to be the most haunted artifact ever. And people have literally had accidents. Something's happened to them. They fainted, whatnot. And then him and another person, I can't remember the name. I'll think of it right now, but he's a singer. And they went and they were on the Dubit box when they first got the box, and it was on a pedestal, and they didn't even have it blocked or anything like that. And something happened to Zach Bagans when they went up to the box. I don't know if it's fake, if he may have made it up or whatever, but at the same time, that person had to come back in and grab him because he was literally acting weird, and grabbed him because they show a footage of it, how he acted, and he had to pull him outside. And then I guess some other people have gotten hurt because they were all concentrating on the box too much. And so then he had to put a double panel over the box and saged it. He has like big leaves of sage all around it and a thick line of salt all around it with this huge wooden pedestal where you can't look at it so well, but you could see it. You could see it. So he tells you not to concentrate or look at the box like overly. He says not to look at it because he doesn't know whether if what he put around it or bound it, he doesn't know if it'll work, but it's the risk that you take. And of course, I went in there, I looked at it, didn't, just did whatever. They even had a smaller box. So I guess there's like so many boxes as well. And then they had a smaller box after that, and I think it's break time, so we could go on a break.
Oh, yeah, let's go on break.
and I'll
then
continue
be right
after
back.
that. Yeah.
You got it. Okay, hold on tight.
Steph.
Hey,
It's a Taffy Tuesday today, Heidi.
Taffy Tuesday. I don't know, Steph. That's kind of a stretch.
Well, we want to give everyone something to chew on.
Tune in to the Gathering Radio Show Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Para X Radio.
Are you haunted by shadow people in the middle of the night?
Do you secretly love all things creepy and spooky, enjoying ghost stories and horror fiction from the best storytellers? Do you have a true ghost experience you want to share, but no one will believe you?
If yes, listen to the professionals on What Are You Afraid Of? Horror Paranormal Show Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Para X Radio and at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com.
What Are You Afraid Of on Para X?
Our creepy and demented hosts are on call to provide you with all your spooky needs with true ghost stories, interviews, indie music, and new horror fiction. We are ready to scare you.
Para X.
Dead Zone. I want to give a huge shout out to Shauna and congratulations on her new podcast, Exploring the Paranormal Perspective. You'll hear some amazing guests like me, paranormal and true crime stories, and more. Catch her Wednesdays at 8 Central on the Para X Radio Network.
Whether you're listening at home, at work, or anywhere, thanks for making Para X part of your day. Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
And we're back. This is Jerry with the calling, along with Kimberly Juarez. And wow, so if you missed last week's show, you can go to the Calling Radio Show on YouTube and check that out. Or if you missed the whole half of the show, which I see Sherry did, you can actually tomorrow go to www.thecallingradioshow.com, and it'll be posted there along with the Calling Radio Show on YouTube. Also, too, Para X. My God, people, there's so much entertainment here. It's just crazy. Oh, gosh. You got Geeks Paranormal right after us. So, stick around. The girls are pretty good, And then on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, there's the Ladies of the Gathering, Stephanie and Heidi. They do some metaphysical stuff at some table, and they have a lot of fun with it. They do a great job. So there's so much. There's even more other than on those 2 nights. And, of course, we're here. So
yes,
there. Let's get back to the show. So, okay. So, Kimmy, you were talking about Zach Bagans.
Yep, and I was talking about the debit box.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say is I just learned that Zach Bagans owned the what house is that? What was name some of the big houses?
Oh, so are you talking about the one in Indiana, Gary, Indiana, the Demon House?
No, not the Demon House. I don't know if he owned that one. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't follow any of these guys. Okay. But I just happen to have read that. What Amityville Horror House, and then he decided that's what I thought I read, and then he sold it was it Lizzie Borden's house, and then he sold it. He wanted to sell it for $2.2 million, and all he got was 1.2, but he sold it anyway because he said that there was something that just wasn't right about it. I'm pretty sure.
Now they had 2 houses. Did he buy the more fancier house, or did he buy the actual where the murders took place? Do you know?
The actual place that the murders took place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he did. I'll tell you what kind of burned me with Zach Bagans is that he went and bought the Demon House in Indiana, and he said he took something with him from that house because, of course, Zach Bagans wasn't going to leave anything behind. He had to have it in his museum. And so he bought this house, heard a bunch of stuff about it, did an investigation, locked himself in, interviewed all the people that were involved and whatnot. There was a shadow, had a doctor's experience, a person that was I guess one of the children that used to live there literally ran backwards up against the wall when he was in the doctor's office. because he was having issues, in this house. There's some history on it and everything. And of course, it kind of burned me because I thought to myself, why would you want to take a piece of that house back with you? And there it is, plain as day.
Yeah.
He took the stairwell and the dirt from the basement that was super haunted.
Well, some people do that. Like I know that, what is her name? Candy Joe, who's got a show on Friday nights here on Para X. When we were in Humbird, there was a woman there, Misty, who had bags of dirt from Ed Gein's grave.
Oh,
and
really?
She wanted some to be able to do some investigating on to see if anything came out. Now, I don't think she put out the evidence on that yet.
Okay.
Or if she's even done it. I'll have to reach out to her and see if she has done that or not. But I sent her some dirt.
I don't think, like he has the dirt to the basement and the basement stairwell, and he actually has it on display. The other thing was, which I thought was interesting, is the Kevorkian van, the van where he did all those, how can I say it?
Assisted suicides.
Assisted suicides, yeah. He assists very many patients who had ALS or some type of disease, cancer, whatnot, that they were dying from. And they, instead of, they wanted to humbly die on their own and, without the disease taking over, of course. So they're not in lots of pain and stuff, and they get tired or whatnot. But so apparently this van was supposed to be destroyed. The lawyer said it was supposed to be destroyed because they didn't want to use it in evidence because, of course, the doctor was getting sued by all of the loved ones' patients. And they wanted to destroy it so there was no evidence. Well, that's the only thing I can't understand is how did he find the van if it was supposed to be destroyed? That I don't understand. And it does have the same exact markings. I mean, it has the exact same thing that were in the van. You could see a picture of the van and everything. That's the only thing I cannot understand is where did he find that van? And when it was supposedly crushed, like in a square, how they can crush them and stuff like that. And then so he asked, there's an interview with Zach Bagans and the lawyer, and he says he asked him, did you see it being destroyed? And he goes, no, I didn't. But he only asked the lawyer. Somebody else could have seen it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that was interesting to me because is it the van or isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Wow. Well, when it comes to assisted suicide, I do believe in that, Oregon's got it. So if you're a person that lives out there and if you're, if you got cancer, I don't know if any of you guys ever seen somebody die of cancer. It's horrible. It's just horrible. And I just remember, I'm not going to say who it is, but when a person I know that died that was close to me, and I remember when her son had said, well, can't you give her more morphine? And they said no, because if we do, it could kill her.
Yeah.
Seriously? She's dying. So you're watching a person suffer. That's total.
I took care of somebody
who was so angry about it.
Yeah, I took care of somebody who died. And as a matter of fact, when she told us they were going to open the morphine, that's when we really have to consider saying our goodbyes. So once she told me I had to do that, I was just devastated. But yeah, it's hard. It's harder than heck, I'll tell you right now, to watch somebody die that way in pain.
It is. It's uncalled for and it's humane. I mean, if it was a dog or a cat or something like that, you would do it because you know that was a humane thing to do.
Right.
And that's the same thing with people. It should be done. Now, Kat had put something. Bella said he bought the Charles Manson house too. I didn't know about that one.
Oh, I didn't know about that one. And
Kat, could you check the one on the? Kat's awesome at researching stuff online. Could you see if there was what the house was that he wanted to sell for $2.2 million and only got $1.2 million, please? You're good at that stuff. You know me, if I start doing that, then I'm going to forget where I'm at and start talking about oatmeal I had about, 6 months ago. But it was really good. They took the little pieces of date. Okay, what's up right there?
Yeah.
But no, the whole Zach thing and stuff. Some stars they go too far.
Yeah.
Is
they
it
do.
real? Like he bought for, was it $1,800? The Ed Gein.
Yes, he did.
Tub that.
Yes.
And he place it.
No, he didn't place it. I don't think it was there, but I saw other things from Ed Gein and things that he. And there, I don't understand it. I don't understand. I don't know. I guess you have to have a sick mind, because I just don't understand the level of like Ed Gein, how he took skin and made things out of skin. And, I guess you do have to be somewhat twisted. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, and there were so many things like that. There's Ed Gein and John Gacy and Robert Ramirez, and they had just like you walk into this room and it looks like you're in a jailhouse, and you see all these different displays of all these different serial killers and stuff like that. And even Ed Gein, his looked like a barn, and they even have that kettle. I don't know if you guys ever saw his special, and I think Patty Narum, the Good Witch, she was in it, and they had that kettle from Ed Gein when he would make, or I don't know what he was doing in that. He put human body parts and stuff like that inside this kettle, and it's supposedly super haunted. But he even had a scene like you would see back in Ed Gein's. Even the shovel was
Right.
even up there.
Wow. So would you think then that Ed Gein was a serial killer?
No.
No? He wasn't. He only killed one person. You'd have to kill multiple to become a serial killer.
Okay, yep, you're right about that. Now,
Yep.
the thing is that he took dead people out of graves.
Yep.
And used
That's
their
just,
skins and stuff.
I'm sorry. I think that is just so messed up.
And I always thought he was a serial killer. He killed these people. That's what I thought.
That's
and
what
rotted the
everybody
skin.
thought. Yep.
Yeah, and it's not.
Thank you, Kat, for finding out the Zach Bagan thing. So it was the La Bianca murder house.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that we had to sell it for $2.2 million, but he ended up shaving a lot of money off there to get rid of it. That's crazy.
Wasn't he staying there? I think he was staying there for a little bit too. I think he did a special on it.
Yeah.
I think he stayed in it for a little bit, and I think the La Bianca house is displayed out there too as well. They just put a little riffraff of the houses that he owned. But other than that, I mean, I think he stayed there, and I heard it's a very nice home, to be truthful. So.
Well, on the show, I seen one show, but it wasn't those guys that were there.
Yeah.
I can't remember who the guys were that were investigating it. And they said that there definitely is haunted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's demonic. Why would it be demonic? I believe that when someone's murdered, you could change that person from being a good person to a person that's going to fight for everything whatsoever, that they had or have, anybody that comes in there after that. Because, I mean, that was horrific that happened to those people, to any of these people. So when people say that they're demonic, I really don't believe they would. Steve B is saying Ed Gein was a good babysitter. He actually did babysit because nobody knew what he did. Ugh.
Right.
I just wonder if the kids played with anything. Like, Uncle Ed, can I have another finger? Oh, these are so good. Oh, God.
Now, the thing, too, what gets me is, he had displays of, Sharon Tate's wedding dress. And it's so funny because when I went up to the dress, I got this vibe on it being it was her most happiest day ever. And when I was looking at it, I was gravitated to it, and I even stood there for a while. And then all of a sudden he comes, because he interviews, of course on screen, and he talks about everything that's inside the room. And they had stuff from Michael Jackson. Who was it? What's his name? The one from not Dirty Dancing. Is it Dirty Dancing? Patrick Swayze? Yep. He had stuff of his too. Yeah.
What did he have up there?
He had like a cane of his and stuff because he really liked him. That was one of his favorite actors. So I guess they did auction some stuff of his. So they were more than happy to give it to him. There's a lot of stories behind it. Some of these people just literally went to him and gave him some things that, of course, he was one of his favorite actors. But that Sharon Tate, when he started talking about Sharon Tate, and it was so funny because he even said, people really like this dress. They're so admired by it that they feel like it's something about happiness. And I'm like, did you guys just read my mind or something? But it was just so odd, to see her dress. And I was just so sad because Charles Manson, did what he did to her, and it was just the saddest thing ever, and it's so funny because they even have Charles Manson things displayed, pictures that he drew, and his gown that he was wearing when he died. I mean, these are the things like, oh my God, and the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because it's just so interesting. Some of the stuff was interesting. Some of the things, I just hope that it is real. Like, okay, in the end, we walk towards the end of the museum, and there's Robert the doll. Now, do we know if that's the actual Robert the doll?
Nobody knows.
Huh. Because it literally looks like Robert the doll, but it doesn't say anything, the authenticity of it or where it comes from.
A friend of mine, Rini Rodriguez, we had her on the show about dolls and stuff, and she said that we talked about Robert the doll, and she said that there's many of them around that people
duplicated it.
Duplicated it. That's like a lot of people. They go out and they buy, what's that famous one doll that's out there in the movies? Oh, come on, name a doll that's
Annabelle.
Famous. Annabelle. And Annabelle was a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, it was an actual Raggedy Ann doll. It wasn't a real doll. Yeah. So there was a doll in there, and I think her name was Annie, and apparently she was the most haunted doll ever in the world. And people, when they talk to Annie or when they say things to Annie, be careful if you're going to go up to her and talk to her, because she really can do some bad things. And like a man mocked her or something like that. Oh, this doll isn't haunted or something like that. And then something terrible happened to him after that, after he left the museum. Now, when I looked at her, she did look really creepy. Like, Jerry, you wouldn't even liked it. You know what I mean?
Oh, is that right?
She looked super creepy. Nothing like my Veronica. My Veronica looks so innocent compared to that girl. And sometimes he has spirit boxes running through the, the area. And so he did have a spirit box in there. And the minute we walked in and said, "Hello, Annie," and she says, "Hello," through the spirit box. And I was like,
oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So she literally responded. I mean, and nothing else came through. Nothing else. The first person, and it was me, I was walking, and then the guy behind me, we both said, "Hello, Annie," and right away she says, "Hello," right through the spirit box.
Okay, and then I would have left. I would have left. I do not like dolls. I hate dolls.
And yeah, he says, say hello to her, to be respectful. And that's actually the tour guide who said that, and then say goodbye, to be respectful. And we did. So yeah, so I just thought that was bizarre.
I would have been like, "Hello, bye," and then moved on.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. And he has, of course, tons of dolls that are haunted. And yeah, they look pretty wicked. I'll tell you that much.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, like I said, what he's doing, it's working, and he's making money from it. And, but at least he's getting that research, and at least he's got some history behind it. He even talks about dates and stuff like that. Like, I can't even remember everything that's out there or what I read out there, because now it's all one big blur. But some of the things I found really interesting, like the van, the stuff of the prisoners, of course, like Robert Ramirez and all them, John Gacy, he even had, like, I guess John Gacy used to draw portraits of clowns and stuff like that. And he has some of those portraits, some of those art works of his. So I just think it's super bizarre, so the energy is like crazy in there, and of course you got the lights that are dim and everything. And of course the house is very old, and apparently the basement is very super demonic. And because there was somebody who lived there and verified that the fact that they did do real rituals down there. So not even Zach Bagans himself will go down there. So alone, at least that's what I heard. So.
Right. Wow. I'll be darned. There's just, I've got to get out more, I can't wait till, I win the lottery so I can start going to these places.
Yeah.
And then take my team with me and say, all right, people, push everything off for a whole month. We're going to do some real investigating,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of these places. It's great because you can see things up close and stuff like that. I mean, enter at your own risk. Of course, I had to sign a waiver, and he still tells you, this is the debit box room. So if you want to go in there, then you can go in there. But again, you have to enter in your own risk. And of course, I paid a little extra to get the VIP treatment, and which was not bad. It was just me anyway. But and of course I did it, and I got the free T-shirt. Woo! But like I said, he did it very well, and he used an old home, and apparently that place is supposed to be haunted. There was apparently reported 2 deaths in that house. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's very crazy, and it's like 31 rooms in that place, and it's smacked in the middle of Las Vegas and the downtown of Las Vegas, where
which
all
place
of
is
the
this?
riffraff, Zach Bagans Museum.
Oh,
I was surprised that it was like smacked in the middle of this place, and I was like, "Oh my God," So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever go to one of those places. I mean, I want to go and investigate. I mean, real investigate, not a paranormal vacation.
So where would you want to really investigate? Because you've been to the Waverly.
Yep, I've been to Waverly. I wouldn't mind being there again. Go there one more time, but then I would like to go places that I've heard about, but not a ton of people have been there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, and this is from what I think the big people would consider us the little people, have told us about. I'd like to go and check those places out.
While we were at the Para-Unity at the MGM, there was a lot of places that are haunted, that owners. So like the Pittsburgh Hospital, they were there, and they totally, I told him I would love to do an interview. So welcoming. He's like, yeah, I will do one with you. I'll tell you all about the hospital and blah, 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 and who's been in there. I mean, that, they're willing to do that. There's also a couple of other places. I mean, those places were really welcoming. And of course, they want you to go and investigate their place, But these places have already had the big wigs through it. So I thought that was pretty nice that they came and invited me, said, hey, here's my card. You're more than welcome to come anytime, you and your investigators, blah, 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 we'll give you the full treatment, blah, da, da. I thought that was awesome. And I said, hey, would you ever consider being on a show? And he's like, yeah, I would do it, So, I mean, I thought they were welcoming. They were pretty awesome. These are places that have already had the big wigs through them. You know what I mean? So
right.
I just thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's way cool. Oh, my gosh. So let's see. This chair, I'm hating it. My pillow, I was going to wash it today. It's so flat.
So, yeah. So I was going to chime on to what Stephanie's saying. There was apparently Bigfoot Expedition, that new group, they didn't show. So that's one of them. And neither did Jesus. I think it's Jesus Bayan. He didn't show.
Who's that?
A lot of that one guy from, he's the one from, we interviewed him a while back ago with someone else, and really nice really cool guy. And I was really, waiting to meet him because I was super excited because we've chatted before many a times. He didn't show up. He canceled out. So I don't know if it was the weather or whatnot, because there was some bad weather while we were out there. And so I didn't get to meet him. He's on the Breaking Bad show. They actually...
Oh, Jesus Payan.
Jesus Payan, yeah. So he was on there. He was there, supposed to be there, and he didn't show. And some of those... the Squatchers Outback or Outfitters or something like that, they were there. They do a lot of Bigfoot stuff. There was a couple of cryptid people, but not very many. And
who was the cryptid people that were there?
Cryptid something. Cryptid. I didn't get a chance to go up to them and meet them or anything like that. And, some of them, this is another thing, Jerry, I have to touch base on. If you're going out there and being a vendor, talk to the people.
Yep.
Talk to the people, interact with the people. Some of the people just sit there and look at you.
Oh, I hate that. I mean, everybody was getting down on me and Paracon and everything else because I don't like to sit there. I had my handful of wristbands, and I was always out talking to people and giving them a wristband and trying to come on over, get them over to there. You got to do that.
You have to do that. You have to do that and get acknowledged and be welcoming and stuff like that. Don't just sit there, because some of the, like I said, they were just sitting there, and I just thought, wow, you should be more out there. So,
and one thing I got to agree with what Steph said is that they find you, and that is true. I believe that because you're out, and if you make that right connection, and can it be a man? I really don't think a man is ever going to make it. I know there's a nut out there that claims he puts his arms open and Bigfoot comes running for him, leaves him greasy rocks that he had in his hand when he was eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. But I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I believe that he'll show himself to someone that. As a matter of fact, the natives always said that if he shows himself to you, there's a reason.
Exactly.
Like I seen him in 2015 up by Bina, when I seen Bigfoot. And did I get any photos? I tried, but he was a bit too quick. But I mean, the thing that killed me is that they are intelligent, because he actually placed his hand over his eyes, looking the other direction, so that the sun wasn't in his eyes, so he could see what he was looking for. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I was, I didn't know who to tell, because I know a lot of people aren't going to believe me and stuff, so.
Didn't you called us right away and told us that you had seen it?
Yep. I told you guys immediately, because I wondered where you guys were at.
Yeah.
You know? So,
And we went back to see if we can get back there, but
it was too much swamp and stuff.
Yeah, there is too much swamp. At that time there was a lot of rain, I think the night before. So you can't really get back there. So, yeah.
Exactly. Well, this worked out to be pretty good, even though I'm sick as heck. Heck, I said CC, not the HE toothpicks. But anyway, so, all right, everyone. This is the end of it. Stick around for Geeks Paranormal. They're a fun bunch of ladies. And thank you, Kim, for your stories of Zach Bagans and the para-unity out there in Las Vegas. Glad you're back on the show. And thanks to the troops. Thank you, Para X and Sarge, as ever. Mwah! I love that man. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.